I thought it'd be fun to just talk about I guess just different games I've played or like my struggles with being very poor. Not actually, but um I never seem to have money because it all goes into my computer. So yeah, I basically just talk about uh games I enjoy and like as what I like about them. So my first computer I got was like a really old I think it was like an XP computer. It was really small and it ran really bad. It's worse than the Chromebooks. Uh, but besides that, I still tried running Minecraft and stuff on it, which it didn't really work out too well. Instead of running, it was more teleporting around. So Roblox was like it still lagged really bad, but it was like the best game that I could run on it. So that was I had played Roblox for forever. And then I got a better computer. It wasn't the best, but it was a lot better than the XP computer I had. Uh, so I was able to start playing other games. Um, so I got Steam. I think I made my account like way back in not way back, but I think it was like 2014 I made my account. Uh, I played I believe the first game that I got on Steam was I think like a Ghostbusters game. I think it was. I'm not completely sure which one it was specifically, but um, it was one of them. I remember I don't think I'd even actually play the game properly. I'd just run around and like just shoot just random things. Um, and then after that, the main game I played was Modern Warfare 3. I'm pretty sure. I know I put a lot of hours into that. Uh, mainly the multiplayer. I beat the campaign in probably uh like 3 days. Uh, I only have like maybe like 4 or 5 hours on the game. Um, but I mainly uh have played the multiplayer on it because it was also like the only one of the only other games that would run and not smoothly, but it would manage to run. Um, and then I learned about Fortnite, uh, which didn't run that much better than any of the other games, but I played that. That was like my new game. I played that a ton, and I ended up getting Save the World, which I still play sometimes. But yeah, and then they updated the game, which made the graphics better, but also made it so it wouldn't run on my computer. So I stopped playing that. I'm pretty sure I went back to Call of Duty for a while. Um, and then I slowly was saving up money in the meantime for other parts, which I ended up getting. I'm still getting new parts for my computer. It's not actually fully done yet. I've just been buying like piece after piece. Pretty sure, yeah, Skyrim was the next main game I got into. I put a ton of hours. I have like 300 something mods on the game. But actually, I don't think I actually started putting mods onto it until after I got a better computer. But I played that a lot. I know I've never actually beaten the game though, because I always start a new profile, thinking like, okay, I'm gonna just do the main quest and I won't get distracted. But I always end up going off and doing side quests at some point, and then like, okay, just one more, and then it kind of just continues. So yeah, I've never beaten Skyrim before in my 150 hours I have into the game. And then I played CS:GO for a little bit. I haven't played the game too much. I play it every now and then with some of my friends. And Warframe is the next next game that I got into. You basically you go around levels and it's basically just like kill enemies and stuff. You can do this cool trick where you can if you're running and you hold control, you'll slide, and then there's also double jump in it, so you can slide, jump, and then you can double jump, go into slow motion by holding if you jump while you aim, you go into slow motion. So you can slide, double jump, and then aim, and you'll go into slow motion. You'll go like really far, and then you just keep doing that, and you'll just like pick up speed. And there's also different characters. They're called Warframes, which you can get parts to build from getting like blueprints for it. There's this one character that's like built around speed that you can get there's mods for like the characters and the weapons you can put on that give it like different abilities, like a physical boost where you get like so much percentage of damage added onto whatever, or you can get like a speed boost. On this one character that they base it around speed, you can put a speed mod on the thing, and then it also has abilities that give it a speed boost. So you can stack up mods too, so you can put a bunch of speed mods on it. Use the speed ability. There's also fruit. I'm pretty sure it's like fruit or some sort of edible thing you can eat that'll also give you a speed boost, I've seen. So you can do all of that, get a bunch of speed. The character also starts off with like 3 times the speed all the other ones have. And you'll just go like really far. There's like open world areas that are like huge maps, and people have done like races, and some of the people will just get there in like a couple seconds. They'll go across the entire map in like just a couple seconds with all the speed boosts like stacked up. Oh yeah, I've gotten like 200 hours into that game. I've played it a lot. They're still releasing a new story for it too. That's what I haven't really been playing it too much. I've just been waiting for them to release more of the story. And then after that, I found this game called DJ Max Respect, which is a rhythm game that I ended up really enjoying. It cost me $60, but I think it was worth it. It's pretty fun. It's just like any other rhythm game. You press the buttons as symbols are coming down on the screen, and you just have to press at the right time. there's a ton of songs. There's a lot more than like any other one that I've played. It's pretty fun. And then I played that for a while. I got into Phasmophobia for a little bit. I still play it every now and then, but I don't find it too enjoyable unless I actually play it with friends or something. Then I got into Rust, which is like the game I've been playing. Some people say I play it too much, but I mean I probably have, but it's pretty fun. I've made a ton of friends from playing the game. I go on to a server called Strike RP/PvP. That's really fun. Everyone's really nice on there. The server just wiped too recently, so everyone's starting fresh. It wiped yesterday, so I got on a little bit after it wiped. I built a house and everything. There's also a bunch of plugins. There's like ocean platforms that have been added in that allow you to build on the ocean. If there's like platforms sticking out of the ocean, I guess it kind of says in the name that you can build stuff on, which is I did that a couple wipes ago. That's pretty fun. And then there's also basement plots that you can build in. I'm trying that one out this wipe. So I have like a little basement under my house. But yeah, Undertale's actually another big game that I played. I played it a lot. I only have like 18 hours in it, but I probably haven't played it as much as I remember, but I really enjoyed it. It's pretty fun. It was fun. It was kind of, it was a different type of game from what I played previously. With like with like how the game keeps track of how many times you've killed like whoever, or how many times you've done this or this, or how you can like change how the game starts, like killing this person will like change this dialogue, or like in the beginning you can just dodge. There's this thing that you meet in the beginning that tries to get you to run into their attacks, saying they're like healing pellets or whatever, and you can just dodge around them, and he'll get like more and more annoyed as you do it. He does it like 3 or 4 times, and he'll just give up trying to get you to run into them, and just tries killing you, which I found it really funny. I also played Minecraft a lot. Before I got all my new parts, Minecraft was also one of the other games that ran pretty well. Even the mod packs. I was playing like 300 mod packs on my old computer. I mean, I was kind of surprised how well it ran on a computer that had like a 10-year-old processor in it, but it managed to run, and I wasn't really complaining. So I played that a lot. A couple years ago, I had one of my parents' friends made a server, and me and my parents and their friend would all play on a server together. That was pretty fun. Um, but I really enjoy Sky Factory. It's like one of the only mod packs that I really enjoy anymore. It's kind of hard to play play normal Minecraft, just like playing survival now. After I've played all the different mod packs, because they make the plain game not seem that fun anymore. I don't really like how there's not too much of an objective. I like the ones with like the quest books. They like tell you like do this and do that, because it kind of gives me like an objective and like an end goal kind of. Because like being the Ender Dragon is like it's kind of fun the first time, but then like after you do it, it's kind of playing like a game over again. It's not really as that satisfying to do anymore. Like killing the Ender Dragon now, it's just like, oh hey, I beat it again, cool. But on Sky Factory, it kind of like it gives you a book and it's also like do this and do that, and it kind of gives me a cool goal, like end goal that I want to get to. Super Hot is also pretty fun. I really enjoy that too. It was it was actually kind of creepy at sometimes with how they made the game. It was also really cool though. How like the concept of like how when you move, or when you move everything moves, but when you don't move nothing moves. Well, it's stuff moves, but it's really slow. It's like almost as though nothing moves when you're not moving. The second one is also pretty cool too, because there's like I'm not actually sure how many levels there actually are, because I've gone to like I've gone through like 50 levels or something like that, and I still haven't gotten to the end of the game, so I'm not actually sure how many levels there are. But the cool thing is like there's certain it's kind of like Mario with like the overworld map. There's like a map you can go through, and there's like certain points where you can get power-ups. There's like one where the first one you get, you can like jump and you'll do like a ground pound that will like one tap the enemies. And then when I got my new parts, I just got an i7, which I got a Ryzen whatever before, and only to realize I didn't even have the right motherboard, so I returned that. I ended up saving up for an i7, which I also needed a new motherboard to get, so I ended up having to get a second new part. And it was also Black Friday or no, not Black Friday. It was Cyber Monday around the time, so there's electronic sales and stuff going on. So I ended up getting a water cooler also, and then my case ended up not having enough room to fit the 2 fans that came with it. So there's just zip ties holding the fans to the top of the case. It may not look the prettiest, but it works. But once I got the new parts, I was able to play Final Fantasy 15 a lot more than I was, because it would run, but like I'd have to like crank all the settings like to the lowest they can go to get it to even reach like 15 frames. It was really bad. But once I got the new part, it still doesn't run the best, but I'm not too sure why. It might just be my graphics card. That's why I'm saving up to get next. But yeah, it runs well enough to like enjoy playing it though, which I guess is the main thing I was trying to achieve. My dad also shared his Steam library with me. There's a thing called Family Share you can do that will allow. I guess it kind of says it in the name. That allows you to share games like with your family. You can do it without like with other people besides family members, but it's like I think it's more meant for like your brother has games that you don't and you want to play them. You can just share each other's games and you can play each other's games. The only downside is that you can't play any of the other person's games if they're online on Steam. And it'll just kick you out of the game. It'll give you like a minute countdown and then it'll just kick you out of the game if they get online, which is kind of annoying, but it's kind of like the trade-off for playing games for free. That's how I was playing Final Fantasy 15 because my dad owns it. I don't because it's like $40. I don't really want to spend that much when I'm trying to save up. So I've just been playing it off of his game library, and when he did the family share with me, my like 100 games on Steam shot up to like 900. So yeah, I didn't realize he had that many games, but I guess he does. I only even play like 10 games mainly that I actually own on Steam, so but yeah, so I just have a stupidly long game list for when I don't play almost any of them. I also got Among Us a while ago. It's a lot less. Well, it was fun when I first got it, but it's like it's really not that fun anymore. I don't even know how I have almost 46 hours on the game. I was really surprised when I looked at the playtime on it. For it to say 46 hours, I have no clue how I put that much time into the game. But yeah, I haven't played that in a while. I only play it really when my cousin asks me to, because he has a friend group he plays it with. He'll sometimes ask me to if I want to join it. Bioshock is probably like my favorite game series. Just because of like the way, I don't really know what it is, but it's just like I've never really played a game that is like how Bioshock is it's kind of just like the concept, because like the first two, you're like in an underwater city that's like everyone's gone crazy because they found there's like this oh god, I haven't played it in so long. They found out about these things that I think it's like it's called Adam. That's what it was. Adam. Yeah. You can get like super kind of like supernatural abilities if you inject yourself with it. So the whole city kind of went like crazy because everyone wanted to get abilities, but it turned out that if you give yourself too much of it, you'd kind of go insane So the whole everyone's kind of insane and trying to kill you. You're on like a plane and it crashes above at a lighthouse, which ends up being the entrance to the city. And first thing that happens when you get out, this guy just starts like charging you, and then just kind of collapses. Yeah. I think probably the third game is my favorite out of the other ones. Not all of them, because it's not too many. But in the third one, you're in, instead of like a city underwater, you're in a city like above the clouds. And you're trying to find this girl that you're tasked to find and like retrieve for someone, because you're in like a big debt, and they say they'll take your debt if you find this person. So you get sent to a city in the clouds, which it's really cool. I really like the music in the game, mainly. It's the story, but it's also the music's really nice in it. Also the concept of like time and stuff in the game. BioShock just like has a lot of things that other games like really don't have. And also it came out in 2013, and it still looks amazing, unless you like get really close up to some of the stuff, then it might get a little blurry, but it still looks really nice for a game that came out in 2013. Borderlands is also a game that I played. I played that a lot before I got new parts. Because it ran pretty well considering the parts that I had in my computer. So it was one of the couple games that I played, or that I enjoyed playing, that didn't lag too bad. Yeah, I have like 100 hours in that. Mainly Borderlands 2. That's like the one Borderlands game I actually had. I tried playing the pre-sequel, but it's like, I don't know, I really don't enjoy it too much with like the space kind of theme to it and the low gravity. I don't know. I think it's just mainly because I'm used to like the other game, and it's a lot, not a lot, but it's like it's different from the other game. Life is Strange is also one of the games I really enjoy. It's probably like my second favorite. BioShock's like my first. But I really like the concept for Life is Strange too. Because the music in that is also really nice. There's also a cool time kind of concept in it with it also, because the main character ends up having an ability where they can reverse time, So that's like the main kind of theme throughout the game. Of you're like you're trying to um you're trying to um kind of get through a week with like everything is like going wrong around you, and you're just trying to fix it and everything. The second one, I didn't enjoy the second one too much. Um, uh, Probably again because I'm just used to the first one, but I really enjoy the first one, a lot. The second one is about because the first one, the two main characters is a girl and her friend, which is also a girl, and then the second one is an older brother and a younger brother. I'm not really sure what it is about the second one. I just don't really enjoy it too much. And then they're releasing a third one. I think it said May, sometime in May. Is when it was coming out. I don't remember. I watched the trailer. I watched the trailer kind of a while ago. It was probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I watched it. But what I got out of it was the main character can like sense emotions, something like that. And if it's like a really strong emotion, she can feel it too. I'm really not too sure how it works, but it seemed cool, I guess. I guess I'll just find out if I like it once it comes out. There's also like a pre-sequel to the first game where you get to play as the main character's friend, because it turns out being that the main character kind of just left her friend as the main character moves away, but the first game starts out where the main character is they just moved back a little bit ago, and she meets up with her friend again, and then the pre-sequel is a couple of years after the main character moved away, because she moved away when they're like younger. So you play as like a teenage version of her friend, and you can't. Oh, right, I remember. So the first game is you're trying to find out, because what happened when the main character moved away is the friend made a new friend, and she like suddenly disappeared, and they had no clue what happened to her. So in the first game, you're trying to find out where she went, which is what you're doing throughout that whole game. And then the pre-sequel is you're just kind of hanging out. It's about you meeting the friend meeting the other person, and they kind of just screw around, and it all kind of leads up to the first game where the person just disappears, and then they try finding her. And then the second game's the one thing I really like about the second game is how it kind of loops back in with the first game, because the brothers end up going to Oregon, which is where the first game takes place. And there's a little like nod to the game, where they're driving along and they take a they stop at this little like outlook, and it like shows, depending on what choice you chose in the first game, changes how the town looks when you look out over it. I thought it was really cool how they put the town that you're going around in the first game into that. I thought it was a cool like nod to it. Yeah. I think that's kind of it. I also played Fallout 4 a little bit. I tried that after I was starting to get bored with Skyrim. Cause my dad gets like 12 game codes every month from I think it's called Humble Bundle or something like that. And he already had Fallout 4, so he gave me a code, so I thought I'd try that. I played that for a little bit. I only have a couple hours on it though. I kind of I got bored with it kind of fast. But yeah, I think that's like pretty much all of the games I've really played and everything. So that was my podcast. I thought it was pretty fun talking about all of the like games I've played and stuff, and like looking back at them, because a lot of those games I've beaten. I spent like maybe 1 or 2 weeks on them, and I kind of just tossed them aside. So I thought it was pretty fun to like look back at them. And I guess that's it.